in terms of the other way around, Ghana inviting Americans, British, Africans, and other Africans in the diaspora to come into Ghana, what are some things that the Ghanaian people need to do and the Ghanaian government needs to do to help facilitate that?
That's a good one.
Well, this is timely to talk about, but it's also I'm going to have a very narrow. I'm going to start with a narrow answer because I'm in the mix of something. So we'll talk about the barriers to capital, which capital is what incoming diasporans use to start businesses which would hire Ghanaians, businesses which would pay taxes, et cetera, et cetera. So the barriers to capital are, so for example, I got a funny Instagram post the other day. White lady goes to registrars to start a business. Mm-hmm. She comes out looking frazzled.
I think I saw this one.
And she says, what does she say?
Yeah.
She says,
they're asking for how much money?
No.
250.
She says, are there any Ghanaian men that I could marry?
Yes.
So I don't have to pay the big registrar's fee for my company.
Yeah.
It was funny, but sad. And I'm going through this myself because, if you Ghanaians go to start a company, it's under 1,000 Ghana.
Yeah.
I'm starting a company.
It's ridiculous.
And it's 6,000 USD. Paperwork.
Just the registrar.
Just registrars.
Mm. You haven't even gotten into the even bigger, that minimum asset requirement.
Then you go there. So 500,000 to have 100% foreign owned company operate. 200,000 if you get a 10% Ghanaian, which for many American companies is a non-starter because you can't raise money if you have a 10% Ghanaian partner, because guess what? They haven't determined if that 10% is dilutive or non-dilutive yet.
Okay.
So I can hire you, give you 10% to have a $200,000 dollar capital infused company. You got 10, I got 90. Elon Musk wants to give me $10 million for 70% of the company. What was 90 for me now gets reduced. Does your 10% get reduced? No. How do you know? Because you don't know. Yeah. There are no rules saying what the rules are. There's no document on if the 10%, how it moves when you're raising money.
Interesting.
So it's a non-starter.
But would it convert to having that 500K minimum if the capital raised is over 500K?
There's no rules.
So essentially, you would need to do the 500K minimum in order to avoid that dilution.
You have to.
Not. Yeah,
you have to.
Which is,
and then finally, just to tie this
crazy.
Up, you guys have a Ghanaian company. You can't start until you get whose stamp of approval? You can't come into business until what? You have to go get someone's approval.
Yeah,
what regulatory agency here?
That's the IPC, right?
Oh, you're saying for foreigners?
How much is it for you to get the GIPC stamp?
How was that?
Wait,
1,500 Ghana.
Yeah.
How much is it for me? 25,000 Ghana.
Wow. No, not to cut you, but we're looking at getting the head of the diasporan unit from GIPC on our program and asking some really, really hard questions.
I will probably come and throw eggs at this person.
Well, listen, if you come on,
I will.
We do have security here.
Listen.
And Marina, don't worry.
Very dangerous.
Because the diasporans want to ask you so many questions, Marina.
We do have security, so don't worry.
I've been to GIPC and they're very helpful. They don't make the rules.
Right.
They enforce the rules. Yeah. So I'm not mad at them.
Sure.
I'm just mad because you don't even need extraordinary people. You have regular average people who will come here, start business, and hire 4 Ghanaians.
That's true.
Yeah.
Why make it harder to do that?
It's very strange. I struggle to understand it. I don't know if it's about I don't even know if I should say this, but I guess I'll say it. I think that there is an element of wanting to keep a certain level of control over the means of production, which end up being the levers of power in a democratic system where you need campaign financing. I think it's similar to what occurred with GN Bank as it's looking. That if this foreign capital would start to come in, maybe it starts to change the status quo. That's my, of course I can't say that for sure. I haven't seen it or heard it said.
I can't even co-sign on this without fear of getting deported out of the country.
It's true.
So I have to sit here and say, I don't know.
Don't say anything.
I don't know.
Don't worry. I'll say it for you. Don't say anything. Okay. We don't want you to,
No, but the thing here is from a Ghanaian perspective, and I hope the government is we need to understand the effect it's having on us, because people from the developed country are coming into better, individuals.
We had the year of return.
Exactly. That's why I even asked the question now. So
and
why?
What?
Well,
You say that to say what?
So you say, hey, come over.
Exactly.
Hold on, wait. You want to stay? Here's how hard I'm going to make it for you to get residency. Here's how hard I'm going to make it for you to start a business. Is that a genuine invitation?
I mean, it's like an ironical invitation.
It's almost a two-faced invitation.
Well, it's like when someone says, call me. They don't really mean for you to call them. It's a figure of speech.
I'll call you back.
Yeah.
If it was because look, here's the question. Us that time we were all, and the thing is, funny enough, a lot of Ghanaians don't even know this. It was when, I had an encounter, or we had an encounter with certain diasporans that we came to understand this, and we're totally dumbfounded. So a lot of Ghanaians are unaware of this.
Yeah.
And they don't also understand why the diasporans are leaving, because the fact that it's going to take me this while to get this business, and the next minute the economy is going to totally make it unattractive. Then it's better I just leave,
It doesn't make sense.
So it's such a way that we do not I don't know if the government understands how foul this is and is affecting, the people who really want to collaborate, and recognizing that it's almost impossible.
But this is the thing. I would even argue everyone can still win. If you reduce the capital requirement from 500,000 to, let's say,
Just get rid of it altogether.
50,000.
That's true. It makes sense.
And then say, but you also have to pay 10,000 into the direct pockets of the current government.
Okay.
They would still benefit. And there would be more $10,000 contributions than the one 500,000 contribution.
Sure.
There would be 1,000 10,000 contributions. So they would make more money.
But Mr. Brian, the funny thing about how Ghana works is, I don't know if it's an intentional thing where they know that they create certain things that it just makes it easy to have loopholes. So they really put it there, and they won't change it, but they know the loophole. They know. So it's like, for us, corruption is like an expansion of job opportunities. So that's the funny thing, where it's like you can't also touch. So I don't know if it's going to change, because these are job opportunities that are created. You know that, bro. People are willing to pay. I mean, immigration, they are willing to pay way lesser, and they will tell you point blank, "Oh, bring this," and it goes back. At the end of it all, I wouldn't be surprised if the government, they are behind that too.
Well,
I wouldn't be surprised.
They're the ones with the power to change it. So, that technically that means you're behind it. But it all comes back to principles.